So my ghost ancestor swung by to tell me to go to Nar Shaddaa to reclaim his lightsaber from the descendant of his loyal servant. Which leads me to this casino. I really should have expected that. All of Nar Shaddaa is like Las Vegas to the 12th power. Seedy looking, neon lights everywhere, and everybody's looking for a way to separate you from your money, even if that involves a gun. Well, I find her working in the casino.
Please don't kill me.
Now, admittedly, I'm used to having that kind of reaction from people when I first meet them, but I have a feeling it's because I'm about to be very disappointed.
I'll get the lightsaber back, I promise.
I knew it. I came to this world for nothing. And meanwhile, some kids are upstairs stealing the hubcaps off my spaceship. I'm sure of it. Well, the good news is that it was in the family for an awfully long time. Hundreds of generations until her father came along and fucked everything up.
Just be happy you're dealing with me, and not my ancestor himself.
I warned him. But Mill, he says, you gotta stop believing in myths. Now he's dead, and I'm paying off his debts. All of them. I'd get the lightsaber back, but Rosen has it, and he's holed up in the industrial area. It's too dangerous, and I can't exactly afford help.
Don't worry, kid. I'm not going to kill you or shock you or anything. I reserve things like that solely for people who fail or annoy me. Admittedly, a kind of nebulous list, but I'm a Sith. I'm not a fan of hard and fast rules. So I think I'm going to go and get this back from whatever scoundrel has it right now.
Only an Escalus can open the lightsaber case. Some kind of genetic lock, so if you get it, bring it here.
Yeah, I'll do that, because of course I don't have a blade that can cut through absolutely everything, do I? So I head to the place where this guy's holed up and slaughter some of his guards. I don't got anything against them, but they do make the fatal mistake of getting in my way when I'm annoyed. The guy himself is a real piece of work.
How about you give me the lightsaber, and I let you live?
Look, I'm standing here with Nar Shaddaa's toughest mercenaries. Guys that make the Sith look like school teachers. So, what I'm thinking is, you're gonna listen to me. That's what I'm thinking.
No, thinking is the one thing you're not doing right now. But do go on. Listening to your fantasies ought to be good for a laugh.
Here's what I propose. I give you the lightsaber, and you come work for me as my own personal Sith. That, or you pay me 3 million credits.
I don't think so.
See, column B. He annoyed me. He takes umbrage at this and tries to sick these guards that make the Sith look like school teachers, only they seem to realize that if that happens, they're going to get schooled.
I'll make it quick, I promise.
No way. I got no plans for dying anytime soon. Boys, let's get out of here while we still have our hides, huh?
These are men with a bright future. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, I remember.
Look, I'll make you another deal, okay? I'll give you the lightsaber, you let me live. It's not like you could open the case anyway.
I don't know. Your life should be worth a lot more than a box, shouldn't it?
The lightsaber, and you clear the Escalus girl's debts.
Fine. I cancel the debts, and you can have your lightsaber. Just don't kill me.
See, those who respect and fear me and then offer to help are rewarded. Those who think they can boss me around get shocked in the junk until they talk like a little schoolgirl. She opens the case for me, and she's grateful that I've cleared her debts for her. An important thing to remember as a Sith. The work of a lifetime for some, I can achieve with only a few words. And a healthy mix of loyalty and fear means that I've got someone who I can rely on in the future. Being Sith doesn't mean I have to be cruel. It just means that at any moment I can choose to be. But I'm free to decide who is rewarded and who is punished. There's no need to withhold the former purely for its own sake. I mean, there's plenty of people who are deserving of punishment. There's no sense in alienating a potential tool.
I'll find you when I need you.
I hope I'm up to the task.
So with that errand out of the way, I call up Zash, and she's ready to do the ritual now, whatever that involves. Probably nothing good for me.
You have done well, flesh of my flesh, in seeking out your inheritance.
Could you stop calling me that? You make it sound like you built me in a lab.
Do not let Zash move first. arm yourself with anger, steel yourself with hate, crush her before she has a chance to strike.
Well, yeah, I was expecting something a little more practical. What you just said is basically, going to war, make sure you bring a gun with you. So we arrive over Dromenkos, and Zash says that she's got everything all set up in the Dark Temple to perform the ritual that's supposed to make me uber powerful. Of course, my ancestor has been spying on her and says that she's been performing rituals to protect herself from the Force. So, yeah, this is the moment, so I'm going to have to be prepared.
Given the sensitive nature of this ritual, I would ask that you not bring your pirate companion. Your Deshard is fine, desirable even, given the sensitive nature of your bond to him.
Oh, just what I need to bring along the sourpuss.
As long as I can bring my lightsaber.
I don't see why not, though I can't imagine you'll have to use it.
Except for the fact the place is filled with possessed lunatics and mad ghosts. Yeah, you're trying a little too hard, aren't you? You could bring wooden stakes if you want, but I don't see why you would need that in the cave of the vampires. So after fighting our way past the horrors, we find Zash, who has some news.
I've arranged for you to receive the title of Lord of the Sith.
I hope you realize what an honor and responsibility it is.
As a Darth, I answer only to Darth Thanaton, who answers to the Dark Council. As a Lord, you're only one step below that, and you tower above many.
It's about time greatness got its due.
Zash goes on about my great power and all that for a while, but still won't explain what this ritual is all about, until finally she reveals this.
Look at me, apprentice. I am sorry to have concealed it from you for so long.
You make Brodians look kissable.
As you can imagine, Grandma McUgly here has been raising my power so that she can take over my body, and doesn't seem to be very malicious about it. She acts like this is some kind of partnership. Me slipping off into oblivion for her is just supposed to be a minor inconvenience for me. Well, I'm not going to go down quietly, that's for sure. I fought too hard, worked too long, flipped through too many evil robe catalogs to back down now.
You can't stop this ritual from happening.
Kem, want to pitch in a little bit here? Phew, what a relief. At least that's all over now.
Apprentice! What have you done to me?
What the fuck? Alright, what fresh plate of hell have you cooked up and what fucking flavor is it?
That monster broke through my defenses, interrupted my concentration, diverted the entire ritual. 5 years of preparation, finding the right person, training them, researching the artifacts, gathering them, wasted!
Well, this is a new one. Normally when I kill somebody, I don't have to deal with a whole lot of complaining from them afterwards.
The Deshard is bound to me, and now, so are you.
That bond, that damn bond! How can your will be stronger than my own? I am the master, not you!
Change is hard, but you'll learn to deal with it.
Oh, what's she doing now? If she poops and throws it at me, I'm out of here. What, you're in there too? Oh. Still, at least I'm taking all of the people who have tried to kill me and cramming them in one body. Makes it easier to keep an eye on them all, I guess. Well, we're not alone for long. More of Zash's apprentices swing by.
Darth Zash, you murdered her.
Don't be an idiot. Obviously, this is merely her discarded body left after an attempted ritual to shift her spirit into my body, displace me, and continue in my physical form, but the intervention of the Shah's unique physical resistance redirected into his own body to cause mental coexistence for her to live within him. So she's not dead, you cretin. And even if she was, what, you think you're going to avenge her? You've still got training wheels on that lightsaber.
Darth Zash dreamt that her strongest apprentice would eventually rise to destroy her, but she also foresaw that the same apprentice would rise to bring new glory and strength to a fragmented Sith Order. She went knowingly to her death at your hand, so that you could lead the Sith to glory.
Actually, you know what? Strike everything I just said. We're going to go with that. I like that. I can work with that. That, if anybody asks, that's what happened. This has turned into a hell of a day. And it's only 5:30. So I go to settle into my new office now that I'm a lord, and I find out that our Thanaton wants to talk. He wants me to go meet him over at a tomb somewhere, because he's got something to discuss that he doesn't want to talk about over this comm, probably because a hologram can't stab you.
Thanaton had me confined to Brahman Cast when we killed Scotia, and he'd have done worse if he had proof. He's not to be trifled with. Be careful.
The nice thing about this Dashad bond is it affects the whole body. It's not just a social thing. So Zash has to help me, the same way that Kem has to help me. And frankly, she's a lot more help than he is. I mean, if I need something bashed, I've got the pirate to help me with that. And he can speak basic so people can understand him. And he doesn't complain. That's a huge positive for me. So we meet in this tomb to discuss things. You know, he's big on tradition, wants me to know what's what and all that. Know what the pecking order is and everything. I give him a respectful answer because, you know, there's no sense in pissing him off for no reason.
It's wise to respect your superiors, at least until you're powerful enough to kill them.
Wise answer. You are not like your master. Tradition, principles, history, the threads that compose our society.
Should I be taking notes? Is this going to be on the final? Well, unfortunately, taking out Zash comes with a stiff price. I'm playing at a new level now. These aren't the merely ambitious, the ones convinced that being a tyrant and making demands of everyone around them proves their strength. The ones at this level were strong enough to claw their way up here. Whether it's physical strength, force knowledge, sheer guile, or something else entirely. Sith strength is whatever you have that gives you an advantage. Find what that is and use it. Being underestimated has served me well so far. But at this level, the opposition knows better than to make that kind of mistake.
Now, I wish to see how you work. This tomb belonged to Darth Andrew, Sith scholar and alchemist. I'm interested in his last writings, which were buried with him. Recover them for me, and we will discuss your place in my power structure.
This has to be a trap of some kind. If he came all the way out here from Kos City, came into the tomb, there's no reason he wouldn't walk the last little bit and pick them up himself. Not to mention, these were the kinds of tasks that I was doing back when I was hoping to one day be an apprentice. Now, I gotta be wary of some kind of trap in here.
Venom-toothed vipers always slithering. Up the walls, along the floors.
Ah, we have a ghost. And I think this one is mad. Was an alchemist, after all. Maybe he was doing like the old-time alchemist was, you know, using lead and mercury and thinking, that's good stuff to make me live forever. Well, I'm having deja vu all over again. Why is it no one teaches me how to fight ghosts when there's so damn many of them in my way?
Enough. Foolish child. Twice now you walked into the still inhabited tomb of a Sith Lord unprepared.
Well, I don't think Thanaton was ready to let me head back to Kos City and dig through the library to figure out what his trap was so I could defeat it. And speaking of trap, close yours unless you have a plan.
In my time, there were mystical movements among the Sith that sought to communicate with ghosts and harness their power. A Sith named Ergast was said to devour ghosts the way your Dashad devours Force users. His knowledge was buried with him near the Dark Temple.
Well, there you go. Now that's a plan that I can get behind. Not only will I finally have a means to fight back against ghosts, but then I can use this if I ever have to fight Thanaton, which seems likely. I can take these ghosts that I've sucked into myself somehow and fire them at him like I'm Shang Tsung or something. Okay, I admit that one was on me. I should have seen that one coming. Well, fortunately, the ghost that this summons forth isn't interested in fighting me, but rather he's willing to work with me and teach me the lore of the Sith and how to do this ghost thing.
Drink from the cup before me. It is poison, but it will not kill you.
You know, that is a lot more reassuring than I thought it'd be, but if he was lying to me, he would have just said that it's not poisonous, telling me that it is, but non-lethal. Alright, I'll buy it. And if I don't learn this ritual, I'm dead anyway, so here's looking up your old address. If I come too later and found out you wrote something on my head, I'm gonna be pissed.
The ritual has two parts. First is the pacification. An angry ghost cannot be tethered.
Yeah, I read that in a fortune cookie once.
The second part is the binding. A willing ghost is easier to bind, but by leaving the ghost his will, you draw less of his power.
Well, screw that then. I didn't drink a cup of poison to get the light beer version of ghost capturing. I want the real deal. Give me the works.
This is the test. Bind me, and you go free. I'll walk with you a time and see the Empire once more. Fail, and I kill you.
This final exam's a little hard, but... ah, hell, I've handled worse.
You have passed the final test. I am now your slave, and my power is yours.
Hell yes, this is what I wanted to be a sorcerer for. Thank you. Now let's go and kick that ghost's ass.
Venom-toothed viper. The only cure for madness is madness.
Well, if that's true, then call me Dr. Feelgood. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Oh, I need a death stick.
Well done. With the power of this ghost and of the other, you may shield yourself against Thanaton's wrath.
Yeah, I talk a lot of good stuff about the Sith, but I gotta tell you, there is a downside when you're going to be punished for doing exactly what you were told to by the person who told you to do it. Okay, let's get this over with.
You've put me in a difficult position. When Zash disobeyed me and had Scotia killed, tradition demanded that she be killed and her power base destroyed.
Let me make sure I'm not misunderstanding you here. So, I go into the chambers of a Darth, and I kill him. That's wrong. Then I go into the chambers of a Darth, and he kills me, and that's perfectly fine. I have to tell you, your tradition's kind of stupid. You know, this is the dumbest reason anybody has ever killed me before. I mean, usually when people want me dead, it's because they hate me. They hate what I represent, that I'm Sith, or that I'm alien, or I'm in their way, or they just want to prove how powerful they are. This guy's doing it for the same reason people get plastered on holidays. I'm fucking Mardi Gras to this guy.
Lord, you're awake. We need to hurry out of here. If Thanaton finds out you're still alive, we're all in trouble.
He wants all of Zash's power base destroyed, which includes you too, which means we're all in trouble already. Alright, let's meet back on the ship and we'll talk about it.
We followed Thanaton's servants, cut them down, and pulled you out of a ditch.
What? That's a complete crock of shit. I woke up in the office where I fell down. Come on. You're gonna make up a story, at least make it something that doesn't assume that I'm an idiot. What next? Did you kill them all by shooting lasers from your eyes or something? Well, anyway, it looks like the ghost managed to protect me from being killed by that whatever the hell he did to me. So now we gotta figure out our next move.
I'll find the most powerful dead in the galaxy, bind them, and take their power. Thanaton won't stand a chance.
I plan to challenge a guy who answers to the Dark Council using my personal army of ghosts. And they say I'm crazy. Zash has a lead on where I might be able to find one, actually, on Terrace. So that's where we're going to head to next. So I've been comparing among the 3 MMOs that I am familiar with in different areas. Last time I discussed monetization, and we had a lot of good discussion going on with that on the forum. And this is something related to that. Which do I feel most comfortable giving money to. Now that we have established that they are requiring making money in some way, how are they going to get it from me is the next logical question after all. The reason that that's not an easy question to answer, though, is because the enjoyment I get out of it isn't in my hands. That doesn't seem to make any sense, so let me explain that. I used to play the game Star Wars Customizable Card Game. It was a really great game. I mean, it had a steep learning curve, but once you got past that, it was a lot of fun. I actually managed to take second place in the state tournament of Wisconsin back in 1998. But eventually what happened was Lucasfilm took away the license from Decipher, the makers of the card game, and they gave it to Wizards of the Coast so they could make an awful game out of it instead. So, no more Star Wars CCG. I'd invested a lot in that game over the years, and when that happened, I was disappointed, sure. But it wasn't as if Lucasfilm or Decipher showed up at my house and then confiscated my collection. The cards are still here, tucked safely away for whenever I feel like playing another game. Video game companies don't seem to think that way, though. They make games, take your money, and then they take the games away from you. This sucks on multiple levels. First, because as someone who has been a long-time follower of the missing episodes issues with Doctor Who, I can tell you what a face-palming disappointment it is to see video games doing exactly the same thing now that they screwed up then, as if the hard-earned lessons are for somebody else. Letting parts of gaming history die is just short-sighted and miserly. I get if you don't want to give away something proprietary, but there has to be a better option than kill it. Second reason is because some things in games are an investment for the future. I like this costume, but it doesn't fit my character, but it's for a limited time, so I'll buy it and then set it aside for a character that I'll likely make sometime in the future. But if the game doesn't have a future, well, that's pointless, isn't it? If you know that the flying saucers are coming to bomb our world next month, there's really no reason to worry about your cholesterol, is there? And this ties into the third point. I want to support games I like because I know return on investment matters. When Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2 both came out, I loved those games, and so I bought every single DLC, even the stuff I wasn't interested in, the crappy costumes or whatever, because I wanted it to be clear that these were games I was willing to spend money on. Everything I bought, I still have. Spending money on Mass Effect was not only something for me to have more fun with a game with, it was to let the company know just how much I liked that game. But with online-only games, I have to be aware that everything I buy could be gone in a month. All this leads to a sense of which is less likely to die. Which isn't what I want this to be, but there it is. As I mentioned, I can't give City of Heroes another chance because it's gone. To quote Ross, it's dead, they killed it, they will kill again. So with that, the game I'm most comfortable giving my money to is Champions. Now, I know that probably sounds insane if you're in any way familiar with the game, because it's nearly a decade old, and it shows. But at the same time, there's a reason it's around despite being the whipping boy of MMOs. Because the studio just flat out bought the Champions IP from Hero Games and licensed it to them for their pen and paper games. But they're an MMO that doesn't need to worry about spending a single dime on license fees. It doesn't have anybody looking over their shoulder. As long as they're making more money than it costs to run the servers, those servers are going to keep chugging along. And best of all, while there's a bit of a pay-to-win aspect to it, I already paid a lot of that when I got a lifetime subscription. So all I'm doing is every once in a while deciding to get something else from their cash store. So instead of treating this as, am I taking a risk investing money in this, I can treat it as, do I or don't I want to buy this thing? You know, like a normal person buying things. Elder Scrolls comes in second, but with an asterisk. I feel very comfortable with the future of that game. Things have improved by leaps and bounds, and it nips at the heels of World of Warcraft as far as popularity goes. The reason for the asterisk is I stopped playing it last year for reasons I'm not going to get into because this is going on way too long already. But it's more that I'm on a break from it until they do one of four things, which I believe they're going to do. Create a necromancy skill line, because I love zombies. create functional way shrines for your houses, fix Maelstrom Arena to save before the final boss rather than at the start of the level, or allow you to have free-form character creation. If any of those happens, I'm going to be back, and I'm going to be confident spending money on the game again. So that means that, yes, Star Wars The Old Republic is again in last place. The reason for that is twofold. First, EA has not done a lot to impress either Disney or the world with their business practices. Getting called out by the government of Belgium doesn't help your case. EA has botched things up so that counting on the continued licensing of the Star Wars IP to them or any of their studios, that's not guaranteed. The other is that Star Wars has felt like Champions did during the wilderness years of that game. Long stretches of pretty much nothing in the way of fresh content, which is also not healthy. And particularly noteworthy is that their final story expansion included the burning of bridges for some classes, especially the Inquisitor. So the future of that game, I'm sorry to say, is in doubt. I'm not being a naysayer, I'm just saying the facts aren't stacking up very nicely. The latest expansion that came out, I went down the list and was like, don't care, don't care, don't care. This actually is worse for me. Don't care, don't care, don't care. To make it worse, they've apparently made it their official policy now to fuck over their long-term supporters. For just one example of this, they announced a subscriber reward program several months back. Every time you logged into the game, it would tell you about the subscriber reward plan. They would send out emails about their subscriber reward plan, on their website about the subscriber reward plan. So you can imagine my surprise when this involved not rewarding their subscribers. It kind of seemed to me like they screwed up the one thing there, huh? Like there was a list that consisted solely of one item with a checkbox next to it, and someone forgot to tick it off, and so decided to tick off their long-term supporters instead. I'm not saying that the reward they gave out was lame or useless, because you could say it's something, even if it's bad. What they did, though, was said, if you already have this reward, well, then you're not getting shit. You're welcome. Their new business model is, and this isn't even sarcasm, to encourage people to start and stop their subscriptions at certain times, not getting people to sign up and stay subscribed, because those people are screwed over as a matter of policy. Even the people defending this action were saying, you're stupid because you're continuing to subscribe. You should only subscribe when they give you a reason. You're the idiot here for assuming they're trying to give you quality. I used to assume that Star Wars The Old Republic was a doorway into another world of fantastic space opera, but apparently it's a Findom simulator. You give it money so it can call you a pig. The only reason that I am still subscribed right now is I'm doing videos about the game. That's how low my personal confidence has become in this. I'm only here because someone else is paying the bill.
Zash, has your research turned up anything else on this terrorist ghost?
Ni pate uvaro sandan sware kanidede akja swaluda is.
Oh, that's awesome. If I need somebody to go eat some books for me, I'll be sure to give you a call.
She's more useful to me than you are. Let me speak with her.
Nikademos in pise meban frumest hosida fram.
This is what makes this whole situation a bit difficult. On the one hand, Kem did save my life when Zash tried to kill me. On the other hand, Zash is a whole lot more cooperative in stopping me from being killed. So, who's the more valuable to me? That's the problem. I mean, Kem did kowtow before me. It wasn't just, taking a knee or anything. He went full forehead to the ground thing there, and I take that kind of respect seriously. But I have a Darth who's trying to kill me, and he's being moody. Zash, on the other hand, has been working on a way to try to resolve that problem for me. So, I gotta say right now the score is 1 Kem, 1 Zash. You saved my life, but now you're getting in the way of someone else trying to save my life. After finally using the fact that his bond requires him to obey me, I get Zash out and she fills me in on all the details of what I need to know. Basically, there's a contact that she has on the Imperial base down below, and he can get me on the path to finding this ghost. The ghost is another Sith, one left over from Malak's invasion way back when. Remember when he decided to spitefully destroy the whole planet just because? Well, he was one of the ones left on the surface to die and was not happy about it. The thing about raining impersonal death upon your followers is they take it personally.
Helios Malus, you were sent here to investigate a ghost. What did you discover?
I am a busy man. I don't have time for... Oh, my lord, I forgive me. I didn't recognize you in your new wardrobe. So grand.
Thanks. Same to you. You're really pulling off that Tony Stark in leather pants look, aren't you? Now that that's out of the way, can we discuss where I can find this ghost so I can shoot it at somebody?
It's just the Jedi have been guarding the old Jedi Enclave very tightly. That's where the ghost first appeared, you see.
Now that makes sense. If I was turned into a ghost, the first person I would try to haunt is the one who killed me. But if they weren't available, I'd probably just go with someone I don't generally like. Like whoever was responsible for the Inhumans series. They deserve a good haunting. Anyway, we find out that the ghost has a blood connection to a Jedi Padawan. And so they brought this Jedi here to try to draw the ghost out so that they can do whatever magic is needed doing to get rid of the ghost. Well, I don't want them to get rid of him. I just want them to give it to me. But I don't think they'll be so inclined. So, we come up with a simple plan. Find a way to turn this Padawan over to my side so that she'll summon the ghost for me. After all, Padawans are inexperienced. A lot of them turn to the dark side naturally. I don't even need her to turn to the dark side, really. I just want the ghost. If the Jedi will give him to me, I'll be fine with that. I don't have to kill any of them. I'm not evil. I just think that no one is more important than I am. There's a difference.
I can't do it. You know what? You want to move a rock? Get a quarry droid.
They say that patience is a virtue, and she clearly has very little virtue. These are recordings left over from Jedi training. Why they're out here? Don't ask me. Maybe it's standard or something, and with the Rakghoul problems on Terrace, they had to withdraw and just left them behind.
Ashara, relent. That's an order.
But I was winning.
You must learn restraint. Varric is clearly not your equal. There was no reason to press the attack.
We're training for war. The Sith won't surrender. We have to drive them back with everything we've got.
Unless that involves moving rocks at them, I guess. It's pretty obvious that her weakness is her pride. She's convinced that she's great, and anything she's not good at isn't important anyway. You find this kind of thing in novice Sith all the time. They're so wrapped up in their own power that they figure that anything that they're not good at isn't important. What the smart Sith learn is that anything like that is a weakness that an enemy can exploit. You have to master those things, and those things that you simply cannot master, you have to find a way to shore up. This kid has an opening in her defenses so wide I can fly my ship through it.
In the past, Sith often used dark side holocrons to turn weak-willed Jedi. If you can convince the Padawan to look, she'll fall easily.
Yeah, this kid definitely. As far as the Force goes, she's got both her shoes tied together. So I contact her on my holocommunicator, and we set up a meeting in a nearby swamp.
Sith. I should have known. Don't think you can kill me easily because I'm a Padawan. Even Master Osera can't beat me with a lightsaber.
It's kind of a pity I need her, because it would be so funny if she pulled out her lightsaber and I just dropped a rock on her. But I do, so I give her a holocron that I found out in the ruins. Nothing useful to me, but a little taste of the dark side for her, if she's willing to open it.
Strange. I've never held one of these before. I expected it to be heavier.
They are remarkable objects. Care to have a look inside?
I don't know. The Masters don't let Padawans handle holocrons.
They also didn't want you coming here, but it worked out.
Well, I guess it can't hurt to look.
Okay, this does feel a little creepy, I have to admit. I kind of feel like I just brought her into my windowless van.
It feels good. It feels powerful.
Yeah, I have to resist the urge to say, there's your warp bubble, Wesley.
Your emotions are a powerful weapon. Embrace them.
The Jedi told me to put my emotions aside. Do they know what this feels like? The darkness feels good. But the Order, the teachings, I don't know. What do you want from me?
The ghost in the Jedi Enclave. I must speak with him.
The ghost? But... No. Of course. I will do as you say. I'll go ahead and prepare the Enclave. Make sure no Jedi are around.
So I just corrupted a Jedi. Really thought that'd be a lot more fun. Ah well, let's go and find our ghost, only she doesn't do a very good job of clearing the Jedi out of the way.
You were right to tell us, Ashara. The Jedi Enclave is no place for Sith, and this one gives me an uneasy feeling.
Blame it on my misspent youth.
Well, he doesn't really seem to accept that as an answer. Instead, they decide to try to stab me in the face. I don't really approve of that, so I kill them. Maybe next time they'll be a little more open about dark side rituals.
I'm sorry, but they gave me no choice. They attacked me.
You tried to turn me to the dark side, and you have the nerve to claim self-defense?
Well, yeah. If someone tries to kill me, I'll try to kill them first. Where's the flaw in that reasoning?
You're right. There is no emotion. There's peace. I guess there's nothing left to do now but summon the ghost.
About time. The sooner I get off of this diseased swamp world, the better. Unfortunately, just as soon as the ghost is summoned, the little lackey shows up. Seems a Thanaton found out that I was here, and offered this guy a promotion in return for trying to kill me. Well, unfortunately for him, he learns that promotions aren't very useful if you're dead. But the ghost isn't too happy that we slaughtered a whole bunch of people on his grave.
I warned you not to summon me again. I warned you to leave me in peace. To keep your Jedi away from my grave.
Please, I'm sorry. This Sith needed to speak with you.
Your apology is worthless. You must die.
Here's something interesting. You see that bottom option there? About letting the ghost kill her? Well, if you pick it, the ghost doesn't kill her. This, for anyone who's played through Knights of the Fallen Empire, can tell you that's par for the course for this game. The expansion there was particularly notorious for its cock-blocking. It will give you the option to do something, and then if you choose it, it doesn't let you. You are on the fucking rails, you pay pig. Here we have to cut the game a little slack, though, because this is down to the players, this thing right here with Ashara. The game originally allowed an option for companions to die, but in the early days, you had only the 5 companions. You could screw yourself over if you got one killed, especially back when each companion had specific roles and they couldn't be changed, and so you could wind up losing your team healer. Some people in the beta got pissy about this, though, and even with a warning that you would lose the companion and never get them back, listed in the game saying you won't get them back. It wasn't good enough. So BioWare finally just made it so that none of the original companions could die. People have since complained because there is one companion in particular who is straining credulity not to allow them to be killed for what they do in the game. But hey, players, we have to be honest and admit, that one, that's on us. We screwed that one up. Incidentally, I've been asked about Kotfi a lot because I've been bashing it at every opportunity this year. So since I just did it again, let me explain why I despise it so much, distilling it down to its most basic, because if I told you everything that was wrong with it, it would be its own series. What I hate is that I came to this game for story-focused content. Kotfi was incredibly story-focused, but it's awful, with a focus on new, unlikable characters. Kotfi is an Electra, or a Catwoman. It teaches the wrong lesson. The lesson of those movies was, don't make women superhero movies. When the lesson should have been, don't make bad movies. And so they stopped making women superhero movies. Likewise, it seems that the lesson of Kotfi was, don't make story the most important, instead of, Don't make a terrible story with unlikable characters that hog the spotlight and leave you feeling helpless. The next expansion for the game after Coffee came out at the end of 2016. And after that, the storyline has come in tiny droplets ever since. There are hints that maybe they're coming out with something this fall. We'll see if we get something, and if we get a Wonder Woman finally to break the trend, or if the wrong-headedness continues. Anyway, after binding the ghost, Ashara realizes that she has no place among the Jedi anymore, and agrees to accept me as her new master now. So I get to add her to my list of apprentices.
My lord, it's Carl, your apprentice. Corin's here with me.
Ah, damn it. I can't get good news without bad news, can I? It's like some kind of subparticle thing where if I create one, its antiparticle is also made. Yeah, I read a book once.
Where are you now?
We've set a course for Quesh, a nasty little swamp world. The warfare on the planet should allow us to hide from Thanaton. We need your help. We took something from Thanaton, something to help you beat him.
Well, that's good. That almost makes up for the fact that you're over another damn swamp planet. Jeez. All right, Andronicus. Set course away from the most miserable place in the galaxy for the second most miserable place in the galaxy, please.
The item we stole was the key to a hidden entrance to Darth Thanaton's private meditation chambers. It is the perfect ambush spot for when you have enough power to face him.
Meditation chamber's good. For a Sith, that's like catching you on the toilet. You're completely unprepared. So, we're going to have to try to save them, or at the very least recover it from their bodies, after the Sith assassin is finished with them. But first we've got to get down there.
Here for inoculation. You'll need Form 1423/D. And, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm a Sith. Which means if I give you a /D, it means you'll now be able to hit that high note in the Star-Spangled Banner. Now give me my injection and get out of my way.
You're cleared. Talk to Moff Drayson if you want to fight. He's in charge of the Empire's war effort.
Oh yeah, point me in the direction of the war on the toxic swamp planet. I'll clear my calendar for that kind of fun. Maybe later on, if I'm free, I'll swing by the agony booth for a little relaxation while I'm at it. I think she's supposed to be dead. The blinking is kind of making me question that, though. I have to say I'm really disappointed in this choice of actor.
Assure you it was nothing personal. I just prefer to stay off Thanaton's hit list.
You make a compelling argument, and I admire your professionalism. I still have to kill you, though. It's also not personal. I barely knew these two, but killing my apprentices demands that I avenge it, or else I'm gonna look like the asshole here.
So I propose a toast. To the honorably defeated.
I will gladly drink to your death, Lord. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Lord Cineratus, my father's choice. Call me Jevon. I can't say it will be a pleasure to die, but I'll try not to make a fool of myself.
You're quite amiable. I should let you know that I am not left-handed. So we finish him off, find a key, and now we just need to get another ghost. Wait a minute. I've got an idea. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. That was worth a shot anyway.
Don't make my mistake. Strangle your children at birth.
I'm sorry your offspring murdered you. But strangling all children may not be the solution.